If you love NBA prop betting and player insights, I've got you covered. I've got the juice on another 10 plays in this upcoming slate, and if that sounds interesting, let's get into it.
Y'all motherfuckers when they get some free tips, best bets, go ahead and flex some. Pick winners all the time, hit it on a daily. This is all free, you don't even have to pay me.
What's up, everyone? And if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Dan and I post daily NBA player prop videos with insights and analysis for every single pick. I also run a sports betting Discord server, which is completely free to join. I'm not running a service. I don't ask anyone to pay for the work that I do. The best way to give me support is to smash that subscribe button and like this video. For my returning subscribers, man, I think you'll all agree with me when I say what an absolute wild day in the NBA. Most of the cappers I follow, they struggled with their playing props, and I wasn't any different. There were upsets all over the place. The Magic upset the Pels. The Hawks beat the Breaks with the Knicks. And understrength Warriors beat the Cavs. The Nets beat the Jazz on the road. And then the Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Look, a big part of prop betting is having a good feel for the outcome of the game, but with this many upsets, it was always going to be a tough day. It's all about bouncing back with a clear mind and some sound research. Now, with that in mind, I've got another 10 player props for you to consider, 6 which I'm playing for sure, which I'll let you know, and another 4 that I'm still leaning toward. I'll also have a same game parlay with plus 200 odds or $3 odds here in Australia at the end of this video, so stick around or skip ahead if you want to see that. We're kicking it off with our very first prop of the day. We're looking at Scotty Barnes over 16.5 points. We had this pick against the Timberwolves, and Scotty finished with 29 points in that game. He's covered this line in 4 of his last 5, averaging 23.5 points per game. He also has strong form against the Celtics. He's covered this line in 4 of his last 5 games against them. He's also averaging 23 points per game. The key stat that I love about this bloke is his shot attempts. In the last 5 games, he's averaging 15.2 shot attempts, and he's also shooting above 50%. Another thing I love about this is he averaged 2.2 free throw attempts in the first 3 months of the season, but now in January, we're seeing him get to the line almost 7 times per game, and he's shooting them at a 75% clip. The Celtics have defended power forwards quite well for the most part of this season, but their recent form isn't great. They've allowed Draymond Green, PJ Washington, TJ Warren, and Najee Marshall to all cover their points line in the Celtics' last 4 games. Moving on to our next prop. It's also in the same game. We're taking Marcus Smart for over 12.5 points. Now, Smart's averaging 12.5 points per game in his last 5 games, and he's covered this line 3 times. Not very impressive, right? But he's covered this line in 4 straight games against the Raptors, including 18 points against them in December. Another reason why I love this play, Jason Tatum is out. But in 6 games without Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart's averaging 21.2 points per game, and he's covered this line in every single one of them. His shot attempts are at 15 with Tatum out of the lineup, in comparison to 10 when Jason Tatum plays. His line hasn't moved too much, so very confident in taking Marcus Smart over 12.5 points in this one. Our next pick, we're looking at Kyle Kuzma, over 2.5 3-pointers made. Absolutely loving this play. His recent form is awesome and his matchup is ideal. Now, he's made 4 3-pointers in each of his last 3 games. He's averaging 11.5 attempts per game in that span. Now, in his last 4 games against the Magic, he's covered this line 3 times. He's averaging 3 3-pointers made against them. The matchup is great as Orlando allows the most 3-pointers made to opposing small forwards in the league. In their last 4 games, they allowed 3 to Michael Porter Jr., 3 to Lauri Markkanen, 6 to Harrison Barnes, and 5 to Anthony Lamb. Mike and Kyle Kuzma to nail some 3s today. The next one, Onyeka Okongwu, over 7.5 points. Now tell me how many cappers, tippers, YouTubers are going to be promoting this bloke? Not many. But here's the reason why I love it. He's covered this line in 8 of his last 10 games. He's averaging 10.7 points per game. Now, Clint Capella is back, but he's been back for 3 games now, so Okongwu is playing approximately 10 minutes less per game. Despite Clint Capella's return, Okongwu still covered this line in all 3 games. The matchup is great. The Hornets have allowed the 3rd most points to centers across the league this season, and I think Okongwu delivers for us today. Now, the next one, Caris LeVert, but we're only taking Caris LeVert over 17.5 points if Donovan Mitchell is out. So Caris LeVert's playing starting minutes in his last 2 games. He scored 23 and 22 points. If Mitchell is out, Drew Holiday is going to be locking Darius Garland up, and the Cavs are going to need find some points from somebody. Now, LeVert's got a great matchup, being defended by Grayson Allen. The Bucks allow the 6th most points to shooting guards across the league. In recent games, the Bucks have allowed Gary Trent Jr., Buddy Hield, Victor Oladipo to all cover their points line. So if Donovan Mitchell is out, I'll definitely be taking Karis LeVert to cover here. The next play, we're taking Alperen Şengün over 5.5 assists. He's covered this line in 5 straight games, averaging 7 assists per game in that span. Kevin Porter Jr. is out again, so Şengün will be relied upon to create some of their offense. He's played the Wolves 4 times and he's yet to cover this line, although he's really turned the corner since Porter's been out of the lineup. He's got an excellent matchup as the Wolves are now the 2nd most assists to centers in the league. The last 5 starting centers that the Wolves have played have all covered their assist line. Triple-double watch? I think so. I've got a quarter of a unit on Alperen Şengün to get a triple-double in this one. Get it on Bet365 for the best odds. The rest of my players, I've got 4 more. They're all leans. I'm still considering whether I take them or not, but I want to share them with you. If you find value, feel free to jump on them. I've got them at the bottom of the screen now. We're taking, first one's Jaylen Brown over 7.5 rebounds. He's only played 7 games without Jason Tatum in the last season and a half. He's averaging 10 rebounds when Jason Tatum is in there. He's covered this line in 6 of these last 7 games without Tatum. With no Tatum, those rebounds are going to be bouncing somewhere. The other is Trae Young over 25.5 points. The Hornets allow the 4th most points to point guards, but I think Trae Young's questionable for this one, but he's also covered this line in 2 straight games against the Charlotte Hornets. The next one is D'Angelo Russell over 18.5 points. He's covered this line in 4 of his last 5 against the Rockets. He's got a great matchup. The Rockets allow the most points to point guards within the league. And then the last one is Tobias Harris. I'll be looking at his points, rebounds, and assists. The line's not available yet. I assume until Harden's news on whether he's playing or not is confirmed, then his market should come out. The reason why I like Tobias Harris here is that the Kings allow the 2nd most points, the 4th most rebounds, and the 5th most assists to the small forward position this season. There's your 10 player picks. But if you've made it this far, hopefully you're enjoying this video. And if you do, smash that like button for us. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on them noties into the same game parlay. This is what a lot of people have come to see. We're looking at plus 200 odds for this one. For those in the US, $3 odds here in Australia. We're looking at the Boston Celtics versus Toronto Raptors. There are 3 players that I like in that one, and I may have mentioned them already. We're taking Marcus Smart for 10 points, Jaylen Brown for 6 rebounds, and Scotty Barnes for 15 points. Plus 200 odds in the US. $3 here in Australia. If you like it, let me know. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the video. Outside of that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Y'all motherfuckers, when they get some free tips, best bets, go ahead and flex some. Pick winners all the time, hit it on a daily. This is all free, you don't even have to pay me.